This evening, this is Robert Blackman with ProfitLeads.com, and tonight I'm going to go over some training on how to get the best bang for your buck at ProfitLeads.com. Now, tonight there's one of three categories that you fall into. The first one is you're a guest tonight, and someone has invited you here. So welcome to the webinar. We'll be about 15, 20 minutes. We'll get to this information and give you a better insight to whether Profit Leads can help you solve some of your recruiting problems. The second category is that you're a customer of ours already, and you like to know how to use the leads a little bit better to go out and build your business. And the third category is you're not only a customer, but you're also an affiliate for us, and you like to know how to not only get the best bang for your buck, but also how to go out and spread the word a little bit and how we compensate people. So we'll spend a little bit of time on that tonight. This is a picture of me here at the Eric Worre conference that I did, and I spoke on how to use direct mail in an all-digital world, and that was my hour-long segment. I come from a printing background. I've been in network marketing for 32 years. At age 50, I basically feel like a dinosaur sometimes that I've been in the business so many years, but yet I'm active on a daily basis because I believe in network marketing. I believe that it is the truest form of capitalism in the United States and actually in the world. And I'm able to work when I want to work and spend time with my family and do the things that are important to me. And there's no other financial vehicle that I've ever seen. And I've tried working for myself in traditional business, in the printing business. I've worked for other people. I've been consultants for within the industry. And but there's nothing better than having the freedom that you get with this business. So we're going to talk about Profit Leads tonight, and we're also going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about how Profit Leads can help that. And we're also going to talk about the industry a little bit. So that's just a little bit of background on me. I've got, for those of you who know me, you know I have 5 children, ages right now 1 year to 16 years. And so that keeps me busy right there by itself. And my wife and I work together in our business, and we spend all of our time together. And that's what we wanted. And so whatever you're looking for, it doesn't have to be a family, doesn't have to be married, doesn't have to be working together. This business can let you be who you want to be, and that's what I like about it. It doesn't discriminate against you. Now, these are basically the numbers that haunted me when I first got involved in network marketing over 32 years ago. I was working full-time for my father in the printing company. I had a job. I'd come home at night. I'd get on the phone. I'd call some people. Back in those days, this was when we did meetings. Always trying to get someone to meet with me, come over to my house. So I was going to go to their house, give a presentation. And we always had a monthly event that I was calling everyone, leaving messages. You got to come down Saturday at noon. We got a guy coming in from Dallas, Texas, blah, blah, blah. Always promoting, never made any money. Became very discouraged during that time period. And since I worked for my father, I actually ran a printing press, and I was a press supervisor over all of our employees that we had. And so when I ran a printing press, if you've ever been familiar with the printing business, a lot of times if you do a long run, like 1 million forms, once you get it set up and running, you put on your earphones and you read magazines, you read books, you check the forms every couple of minutes, and that's about it. You got to keep ink and water in it and the alcohol solution and take the forms down as you load up more paper. And it's pretty much, you could sit there for 8 hours in one day and run one job. And so that's when I fell in love with direct mail. That's when I fell in love with running ads and so on. And I just dreamed at night. I would lay in bed at night just dreaming. If I could find 100 people, all they would do is contact 100 other people a month. That would be 10,000 exposures for my business. 10,000 people would hear about it, especially if we mailed a postcard. And if out of those 10,000 exposures, only 1% of those joined, that's 100 new people. So if 99% failed, because I was in the direct mail business, so I knew that we always shot for at least a minimum of 1%. One of the things that we had learned in the direct mail business is that you had to create a campaign that you could break even on the cost of the printing and the postage at 1%. That's what we did for our clients. That's what's necessary in the industry. So if you can't make a 1%, you're losing money. So that's where I came up with the 1% number. So I was always excited, and I was thinking, how can I do this? And so these are the numbers that haunted me. I walked around every single day. I'd go to these meetings, and I would talk to people about direct mail, and they kind of looked at me like I was strange, going, no, you invite your family and friends, Robert. You don't spend money on postage and printing. That's not duplicatable. And so I basically kind of got out of warm marketing and got into direct mail. And that's when my love of running ads, generating leads, talking to other Robert Blackmans across the country and now across the world came about. But tonight I want you to think about this. This is the only form of true duplication I've ever seen, where I can get 100 leads in the hands of 100 downline members, and they either call, email, or mail those people. You know, if everybody called, emailed, and mailed all 100, that would be 30,000 exposures, because you're exposing each prospect 3 times by calling them, by emailing them, and by mailing them. And at a 1% response rate, which is still very good today, that's 100 people. Now, what have you just done there? You've doubled the size of your group. You've doubled the size of your group. So if we go to 200 leads, now we've doubled to 200 people, and all of them send 100 leads. That's 20,000 contacts times 1%. What's that number? 200. So now we've doubled our group again. So these are the numbers that haunted me, that I was always pursuing as a young man, trying to figure out how could I get people in my downline to duplicate. So the reasons why I started ProfitLeads.com was very simple. I had a warm market meeting shut down. We actually were at a pre-launch of a company that had a weight loss patch, and the transdermal process wasn't approved by the FDA. So I had someone come in and they shut the meeting down. And that's pretty much blew my warm market out. And I did it at my dad's print shop, and he forbid me to ever do anything locally again. So I woke up the next morning, went down to the print shop, got in the back of magazines, and I started running ads all over the country. And so that's basically where the concept basically started for me at Profit Leads. So I still had a dream, but I also had a dead-end job. I knew that even though I worked in the family printing business, my dad was going to have to retire or die, and neither one of those were going to happen very soon. And I was going to be at that printing press at age 40, and I just didn't want to do that. So because I still had a dream and a dead-end job, I continued to look. So that's when I started running ads in magazines all over the country. This was before the internet. And that's when I started looking for other Robert Blackman. And I was able to, through my father, I was able to use leftover and discarded paper at the print shop and come in on my own time and print up all these campaigns. Consequently, all I had to pay for was what? Postage. I had free envelopes, free letters, free ink, and all I had to buy the mailing list and the postage. So I was able to test. Every single week I sent out a mailing to test different ad copy, different offers, and so on. And that's where I really, truly fell in love with direct marketing, because I would go down to the P.O. box and people would be sending me checks. People I didn't even know would send me checks in the mail to sign up with my program. And that's when the dream got ignited. And I realized I could work my day job and I could make money on the side and on weekends. And people who I didn't have to show a presentation to, I just had to mail them a letter with a brochure. And I loved that time of my life, because that's when I truly found what it was like to be free financially. So I printed out my own materials at nights and weekends, and I didn't interfere with my day job. And that was the only thing my dad said. You can have all this stuff that we're going to throw away anyway, just don't intermingle it with our day job. And I basically, the concept was I was going to spend so much a week to mail out and find other Robert Blackman, other people just like me. And also, as my team started growing, my team needed fuel. The fuel to your network marketing vehicle is leads. And if you're not going to talk to your family and friends, the only people you're left with is leads. So you want to write that down tonight. There's only 2 types of people you're ever going to talk to about your business. 2 types of people. People that you already know, people that you don't know. Very simple. And when you break it down to simplicity, that's what you have to become a master at. You have to become a master at warm marketing. That's people that you already know. And or you have to become an expert at cold marketing. That's people that you don't know. I no longer have a warm market because I've talked to everybody that I already personally know, unless I meet somebody new. And that's usually a cold lead that I turn into a warm lead. So what I have mastered, folks, is I believe warm marketing is the best market method. And I turned those people into, turned cold leads into those type of warm leads. Also, when I found out that I could ask everyone on my team to have a predictable budget, in other words, instead of waking up every month at the first of each month wondering if people were going to buy products, wondering if anyone was going to do any mailing, I got my team together and I said, look, here's how much our product is each month, and here's how much money you got to send me for our direct mail package. You have to commit to that every month before you join my team. That was in my sales letter. So when somebody joined, they already committed to a monthly product purchase and a monthly mailing purchase. So that was basically the leads and back then postcards. So it was a predictable budget, and I basically hound in on the idea, would you be willing to spend $100 and $200 a month for your financial future? And that's what people said yes. When they said yes, they were in for the long term. And also it had predictable conversion rates because I had tested this and retested it, and we were looking at a 1% conversion rate. So we found that if we could do our mailings and we had fast start bonuses, those fast start bonuses in our primary businesses, now they're called coding bonuses and other types of things, they would pay for the mailing. And then we were making residual income on the backside. So those are the reasons why I started ProfitLeads.com, because I was running the printing press all the time. So now, understand warm market, because again, there's only two types of people you're going to talk to. So I'm going to go over that tonight. The reason why warm marketing is the best is because people already know you, they already like you, but they trust you. It's what we call the know, like, and trust factor. Very simple. If I know you, your name is John, I say, hey, John, it's Robert. Hey, come over tonight, I want to show you something. You go, sure. In today's language, I would email or I would text you and say, hey, John, go take a look at this video on this website. And on John's break or lunch hour, he gets home tonight, he would look at it, and then he'd say, hey, I watched the video, now what? Okay, so it's not difficult to get your warm market in front of a presentation. It is difficult to get a cold lead in front of a presentation. And folks, that's your end result. You just want to get eyeballs on a presentation. You're not looking to do the selling. That's what I loved about direct mail, is I didn't have to talk to anybody. I could write it up and put it in a brochure and put an order form, and I let the sales letter. I had thousands of salesmen going out every single week. That's why I looked at those sales letters. Now that's what websites are. That's what this webinar is. My video on the website, it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week salesperson for you. So you don't have to talk to anybody. You just point people, let them watch the presentation. So understanding warm marketing that's the reason why it works better, because you get more people to see a presentation than you do if they don't know you. Just a really simple mathematical formula. Most join on just your previous relationship. Hey, Robert says it's good, let's try the product. Robert says it's good, let's try the service. Robert says he's making some money, let's join as a distributor. So they join on the previous relationship, and they have not even looked at the contents of the product. They don't know the ins and outs of the terms and conditions. In other words, they're not joining because they did their due diligence on the product, service, or the company or the industry. They're joining on you. That's why warm marketing is the best. Most are also happy to give you referrals. If they say, you know what, I don't have any money, I don't have any time, I have no interest, but I'll be happy. I know someone who could lose some weight. I know someone who could use your service. I know someone who is looking for an extra few $100s a month. They've always got a second and a third job. They mow yards. They paint houses in the summer as a school teacher. So your friends give referrals of other people that would be customers or distributors, and they're happy to do it. So that's why warm marketing works the best as there too. And you'll get customers easily. When you contact your warm market, it's easier to get a customer than a distributor. So a lot of people will be becoming customers just because they know you. I know that my daughter just did a fundraiser for her volleyball team, and we bought 3 dozen frozen cookies. Okay? Everybody that we knew bought frozen cookies. It was $16 per dozen for them for their volleyball. So she went out and sold cookies to everybody. And a lot of people, when she went and delivered them, said, oh, honey, we really not going to eat those cookies. You keep them for you and the girls. We just wanted to contribute to your cause. Okay? So they're easy because they know, like, and trust you. It works in real life. It works for network marketing as well, too. They'll also easily get on a conference call with you. You don't have to beg them. They'll get on a webinar. They'll be happy to do that. They'll go to a home meeting, okay? And they'll go to a hotel meeting for you. It's not that hard to do it. And here's the formula for warm marketing if you want to write this down. It's what we call the 20-10-5 formula. If you invite 20 people that you already know, let's say that you want to invite them over to your house on a Friday night, 10 of them are going to show up. Now, that doesn't mean that all 20 will commit to coming. Maybe 13 say they're going to come. 7 say, hey, we can't come over Friday night. But 3 no-show. 10 show up, and you have your little party, and half of those will join. That's the formula. It's usually a 50% closing rate when you get people that you know in front of a presentation. Here's the problem. Most people will never invite 20. If they do invite 20, they do it wrong. And if they do invite 20, 10 show up and 5 join, eventually what happens? They run out of 20. Eventually you're going to run out of people who will come and show the presentation. And then here's where duplication stops. Those 5 that join, they don't do anything. They don't ever invite 20, so your business is dead in the water. I've experienced that. People that I know in the industry, 99.9% of them have experienced that. That's the reason that I also started Profit Leads, because everybody, including me, was having that problem. So, understanding the lead business. It's very important to know why our leads are different and why you should at least test them for 30 days. We have what we call buyer leads. What's a buyer lead? It's somebody who has spent anywhere from 99 cents to $9.95 on a work-at-home booklet. They get a digital download of this particular product. We don't ship it to them. It's actually a digital product. It's basically a report on how to make money from home. It's generic in nature. It doesn't promote any program, doesn't talk about any particular company. It talks about the concept that they can work from home. And so that's what we know that they've done. That distinguishes them from someone who's even been telephone interviewed. You know what I think about telephone interviewed leads? Here's what I know about them. They have a telephone, and they answer it. Because I know when I've called interviewed leads, the interviewed leads are just like people who I used to interview at the printing company. And when I was at the printing company, I'd interview people, did they have any previous experience? And of course they always did. They'd even give references to that effect. And we'd get them out on the plant floor, and they wouldn't even know where the button was to turn it on. And so basically they told a lie. They exaggerated their credentials in the interview. So when I talk to someone who's been telephone interviewed, I know they've embellished. We all do. We all like to say that we're better than we really are at the current moment. So that's why I like these leads, because I know they're like you and I. They've bought something. They're looking for something. Now, the distinguishment is, what distinguishes them is they don't know, like, or trust you yet. Yes, they bought a report, so that puts them as a higher caliber lead in my mind, but they don't know, like, or trust you. That's your job to turn, at this point, what I talk about, turning a cold lead into a warm lead. And that usually takes about 90 days. And that's all I do today. I take these buyer leads and I turn them into warm leads. That's it. And that's the system that you should use too. Now, don't call these leads and say, hey, I know you just bought a book and I have a great business for you. In today's identity theft and stalking type of environment, and how people are very careful, some people find it kind of creepy if you know that they bought a book or the name of the book or where it was. That's just not how you approach these leads. And that's what people have tried. And you know what? We tried it when we first started calling these leads, and it didn't work for us. Why? Because if a stranger called you tonight after you got off this webinar and they said the same thing to you, how would you react? You'd probably even think back in your mind, how did they know I bought a book, and what book was it? And so that's not the right way to contact the leads. We tried. We failed at that, so don't try it. Court your leads to get maximum response. What do I mean by that? Courting. You have to court them along to where they get to know, like, and trust you. That means send them to a webinar, send them to a video, send them a DVD in the mail, invite them on a conference call. If you have free samples, get them a free sample. If you got a free report, write up a free report and send it to them. 7 reasons why your program and your product or service is great. It doesn't have to be something physical. It could be something that's digital. But court them. Give them information so they can sell themselves on you and what you're doing. Now, also, expect bad phone numbers, bad emails, and bad addresses. Why? Because this is done online. When somebody orders something online that's a digital download, they don't always give us their accurate information. The emails are usually the best one, but a lot of times people will give inaccurate emails, and then they'll expect the download to show up right on the screen. So that's part of the lead business. And what we do, if you get some bad ones, you want them replaced, we replace those free of charge. All we ask that you do is just contact our customer support after you contact all of us. Don't call us every day or every week. Go ahead and contact the whole 100 leads that you get. If you get 5 bad ones, we'll replace those free of charge. And that's our guarantee on our leads, because we know that's just going to happen. Now, what to do and what to expect. Here's basically what you should do with our lead program to get the best results. You should do what we call a 3-step approach. That includes mailing them, emailing them, and calling them. What we do here and what we have done the best is we mail them one time. We email them weekly with our autoresponder, and you also get a free autoresponder at Profit Lead, so you don't have to pay for an additional service. And then we call them once. And so then we're mailing and calling one time, but we're emailing them on a weekly basis so they either opt in or they opt out. And that's the system that we have set up. And when we do conference calls and webinars and trainings like this, we'll email and broadcast all of those buyer leads that we have to, invite them to the meeting. And that's the best way to get the best results out of our leads. Again, send a card or a letter first. I know that may seem a little strange, but I'm telling you, that has the best effect on people when you send something in the mail to them, and then you send an email saying that the card or letter is coming. If you send an email out without a website address, that will give you the best chance to get it delivered and let them know the card is coming. The card is coming. And that's what we do on the very first contact with them. Then we make a follow-up call 1 week later, asking if they received a card or a letter. And if they haven't, then we ask them if they have a pen and paper, and we give them the website to go watch the webinar, go watch a video. Or if we're sending out free DVDs, we ask them to verify their mailing address, and we drop something in the mail to them. If we got a free sample, then we send a free sample at that point. So that's the best way to warm up your cold leads and to start courting them. Get them a free report, a free video, recorded or live webinar or conference call, anything for free that will get them to the next step where you're not explaining to them. The last thing you want to be doing is talking about the same thing to 16 different people every day. That's why technology today allows you to post something once and let it be recorded and let it be your salesperson for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So all you have to do is follow up. Did you watch the video? Did you watch the DVD? What kind of questions do you have? Sounds like you're ready to get started. And folks, that's all I do here. After 32 years in the business, that's as complicated as I get. Now, don't send them immediately to a corporate website that has 100 bells and whistles. And I know that if you're in love with your corporate website, you can test it. I have tested it. And here's what I found. When somebody goes to a website and there's 15 links at the top, what do they think they need to do before they place an order? That they need to do what? Click on all 15 links. When was the last time you sat in front of a computer and clicked on 15 links on a single website and spent 2 hours researching? Well, now, if it was something about your personal health or a loved one or a pet or something, then you might have done that. But when it comes to the majority of your visits online, you spend 3 to 5 minutes max and you're off the website. So that's why I don't send any of my prospects to a corporate website first. I send them to a website where there's a singular or even maybe 2 choices for them to take action to do. But I want them to not have to click on 15 or 20 things to make them feel like that they can go out and get more information. Okay, proper expectations. This is actually the only 100% duplicatable system that I've ever used. I've done meetings, I've done direct mail, I've done internet marketing, email marketing, I've done telemarketing. And what I've found is that most people do nothing in our groups. Any group I've ever had, the majority, over 80% of the people, join, and that's the last action they ever took. And it's mainly because they don't have direction. And remember, as I said earlier in my direct mail days, here's what I did when they joined. They had to not only join the program, they had to commit to what? A monthly advertising co-op. So they had to do that on a monthly basis. And they would send me a check, and I would draft their check each month. On the first of each month, and we would do the mailing. We would do postcard and letter mailings for all these people. Because why? We wanted to say, look, if you're going to get in the business, if you want to contact your family and friends, fine, here's a letter, here's how you do that. But this is a national program. We're generating leads nationally, and you can be building this business part-time while you have your full-time job. So that, to me, is 100% duplication when everybody on your team commits to getting 100 leads a month for profit leads. That's $1 a lead. We're $99.95 for 100 leads. We do have a special 30-day trial where you can come in and try those same 100 leads for just $9.95. And we do that for a couple of reasons, and I'll tell you that here in a minute. But basically, duplication is what? It's when you get everybody doing what? The same thing. So when I sign somebody up, I say you've got to come in profit leads at the same time, or you at least have to go ahead and try the leads for 30 days for $9.95. So that $10 bar that we set up there, we know everyone's got an additional $10. So majority of people that come into a primary business also come into the lead business. That creates true duplication for you. Everyone gets 100 leads a month. And the way I break it down is very simple. That's 5 postcards a day. 5 times 20 days, Monday through Friday, is 100 leads a month. And in addition to 5 postcards a day, that's 5 emails a day that you could send out, or that's 5 phone calls a day. And if you convert 1 to 5 sales for 100 leads in 90 days, you've hit the mark. That's what I teach. And I'm asking people, when I'm talking to prospects, I go, are you willing to come home and spend 5 minutes sending out 5 postcards, 5 emails, and making 5 phone calls for your financial future? Yes or no? Are you willing to contact 5 people a day, 20 days a month? Or 25 people once a week? Maybe you only want to do it on Tuesdays. Are you willing to do that? And I ask my prospects before they join if they're willing to do that, and I get a commitment from them up front. And if they commit to that and they invest in that, then they're there 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 36 months from now. When people drop out of your program, it's because you're not getting a commitment from them. All you're getting a commitment from is that I'm going to get on auto ship for your primary business, and then I'll let you know how I'm going to build it. So if you convert 1 to 5 sales for every 100 leads that you get from us in a 90-day period, you've hit the sweet spot. That's where you've turned a cold lead into a warm lead. Look, new and busy people love this system. Why? Because if they're new, they're a little bit nervous about contacting their family and friends. If they're busy, they don't have time to go to meetings or meet people at a Starbucks. They love this type of hands-off system. Remember, talent isn't duplicatable, but systems are. And this is, again, the only system I've ever used in 32 years that I can pinpoint and track the numbers and say, those who use the system succeeded. So remember, you may be talented, you may know a lot of people, but your downline don't. Your downline, if they don't have your talent, they can't duplicate you. So that's why I created this system, because I felt this was the only system that could be truly duplicatable. And again, I'm back to those haunting numbers. 100 people times 100 leads a month equals 10,000 exposures times 1%. That's doubling your group with 100 new people each and every month. That's the truest form of duplication for me, is getting everyone to go out and participate into a 1% system. And when you do that, you start teaching this, you start exposing this concept, people are going to stay in longer. So what's your current conversion rate? Some of you probably don't even track it, but I do. At ProfitLeads.com, I have a 48% conversion rate. Now, Robert, what does exactly that mean? 48% of the people that will visit my website, watch the video, and I get them on the phone, I convert 48% of them. So for every 10 people, I'm almost signing up half of those, or 5. Now, that's 50% closing rate. What does that kind of sound like to you? That sounds like that earlier exposure of what I said, the 20, 10, 5, that if you can get 10 people in your warm market in front of the home meeting or hotel meeting, 5 are going to join. Well, that's the same number that I've got here, and I've done that at Profit Leads. I've been able to do that at Profit Leads and go out and get a 48% conversion rate because they're watching the video. I follow up with them, and I go, have you watched the video? Have you read the website? What kind of questions do you have? I answer all their questions, and I say this, is that all the questions that you have? And if they say yes, here's my big close. Sounds like you're ready to get started. Then I'm quiet. That's my system to convert 48%. The industry average on the internet is 1 to 3%. Why the difference? Well, in addition to my approach, I have a $9.95 entry point. I know everybody has $10. We also have a 2-tier 15-45 pay plan. So I can show people how to just bring in 3 people, and they're getting their leads for free. So we got a very, very high comp plan, and we also don't require you to build a big business here. Just refer a few people, and you're in the money. You're break even. Also, we solve problems. Everybody needs more leads, they need more training, and they also need another autoresponder, a free one that they don't have to pay for. So use Profit Leads in tandem with your primary business if you have one. I talked to a gentleman today that's involved in 3 different businesses, and he's using these leads to sign up 4 or 5 people a month in one of those 3 businesses. Now, here's a quick look at our compensation plan. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it. We're basically a 2-level unilevel. We pay out 15% on the first level. We pay out 45% on the second level. That's a 60% payout in the first 2 levels. We do that because we want you to get into profit quickly. This isn't go out and put 10,000 people in the Profit Lead. This is where you go out and put in 10 people, and you're making a couple $100 a month, and that's exciting. Now, after the second level, we do have a generational bonus of 5% that is paid down through bronzes. And what's a bronze? Somebody who's got 1,000 BV, which is basically 10 people in their first 2 levels. So once you get a bronze and you're qualified for it, you make 5% on that. Now, we're running a special right now where if you come in at the normal price of $99.95, we will grandfather you all the way to the far right as a diamond. So that way you don't have to ever worry about, hey, do I got to put anybody into Profit Lead today? And is my group growing? You don't have to worry about building this. You just send people to your link and you let it build organically, and you're out there making money doing what you're already doing already, pointing and directing people and training people. So let this be that little small, sneaky program on the side that starts, you look up one day, you got a $50 check, and you got a $300 check, and you got a $1,000 check, and you don't even know what you're doing. All you've done is refer people that say no to your primary business to us, and refer your downline members, those that have run out of warm market leads, those that don't know how to generate their own leads online or they don't like doing that. Send them over here. We're going to guarantee to give them 100 good, fresh leads that nobody else shares, but just them, each and every month, so you can contact those folks for your primary business. And that's what I love about our comp plan. Is just so simple right there. Here's how you can make $780 a month with just 20 customers at Profit Lead. You come in, you go out and put 4 people on the first level, you help each one of those get 4. That's what we call a group of 20. $780 a month is an extra paycheck, a 5th paycheck that we always hear and talk about that most people in this country today could have. That makes a big difference in everybody's budget if they can get just a small group of 20 with that. And I'm going to break down the math real quickly for you, and I'm going to go through these next slides real quick. And this is recorded, so you can watch this over and over and over again. To get to $780 a month, it's very simple. Put 4 people on your first level. They're all getting 100 leads, and we pay you on 100 BV, although we're only charging you $99.95. That's going to pay you $60 on level 1. And on level 2, if those 4 get 4, you're making $720 on level 2. That's a total of $780 a month with just 20 people. And you know what it takes to have in the bank? It's the scenario that I've used for the last 10 years of my business. I always try to equate network marketing to Main Street. Everybody that's ever sat at a stoplight at any town will sit there and look over and what's on the corner. It's a bank. And what does the bank usually have sitting there on their marquee? They'll have something that says, today's CD rate is this. So everybody knows what a CD or certificate of deposit is. But nobody knows what $780 a month in network marketing means. So I try to merge those two worlds and let people know that if you were getting $780 a month from your bank at 2.5% interest, you'd have to have over $374,000 sitting in your local bank to pay you $780 a month. So when you're driving around thinking about your network marketing opportunity and you've got a $780 check coming in, that's a $374,000 asset. That's the way I look at it. Because, you know, does it really matter if you get a $780 a month check from us or your bank and the check clears? Does it really matter where it's coming from? Would you cash it anyway if you had 20 people with us or you had $374,000 with your local bank? Okay? That's the way I correlate the business. And so when I'm building my networking business, I'm building an asset. I'm investing in people. Your number one asset are your people. That's why I'm doing the webinar training tonight, because I want you to know what I know. I want you to know all the mistakes I've made, and tonight's presentation is being done after years and years of trial and error. So when I talk to prospects, I talk to them about the money. No matter if your primary business is, you can come up with the same type of formula. Show them if they get 4, who get 4, or 3, who get 3, whatever. And it doesn't have to be $5,000 or $10,000 a month. Matter of fact, this scenario here motivates more people than $5,000 or $10,000 a month. Now, why is that? Because $780 a month is what? It's believable. It's less money they're making right now. But if I show you a scenario tonight, and I'll show you a couple of them for those big thinkers, but the majority of people, if I show you $5,000 or $10,000 a month, what's the first thing that goes to your mind? It's not believable. I could never do that. I work 40 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week, and I barely make $3,000 or $4,000 a month. So how are you going to tell me I'm going to make $10,000 a month part-time, Robert? So I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people have made. I know I used to make, and I would talk those presentations, and people would say, well, let me just think about it. But when I started showing people this math, 20 people, $780 a month, and I asked people, can you see yourself doing that? Yeah, that's believable. So whatever formula you use a believable one that the part-time person can go out and see themselves doing. And I go to bankrate.com. I send my prospects there. You should go there because it's important to know what the real rates are. And I've just thrown out some scenarios here. A 6-month CD right now isn't 2.5%, as I showed. It's 0.46%. You'd have to have over $2 million in the bank to make $780 a month. That shows you the power of this business. 1-year CD, you'd have to have over 1.1 million. A 5-year CD at 1.7, you'd have to have over $500,000. Again, if you're in a primary business, use this formula for your primary business. Show people the math. Because when you show people the math and you reveal and get rid of, if you reveal what happens and get rid of the mystery, then they go, well, now I understand it and I'm going to do it. People don't join a program that they don't understand. And you don't have to sell it to them. You just have to show it to them. That's why I like showing the math, because then people start saying, okay, I get it. Now, here's what I do in my scenarios. And again, you can apply these principles for your primary business, and it works very well. How to get to $780 a month in the next 30 days. Sponsor 4 people in the next 15 days. You've now got 4 people in your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over the next 15 days. You've now got 16 people on your second level. You're now making $780 a month after just 30 days of getting just 4 people in 15 days, and you're downline duplicating you. Again, now I've shown someone what? Something that's what I call fast track. If you'd like to get to $780 a month in 30 days, here's the fast track. I've had some people do it in 1 day, okay? So it just depends on what your sphere of influence is. But I like to show a 30-day game plan. In whatever business you're in, show a 30-day game plan to people, how to get to that first 10 level, for instance. You may be saying, well, 30 days, I can't do it. Okay, let's do it in 60 days. That's 2 months. Sponsor 1 person a week for the next 4 weeks. You've now got 4 people on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same for over their next 4 weeks. You've now got 16 people in your second level. You're now earning $780 a month after just 8 weeks or 2 months of getting 1 a week, and your downline getting 1 a week. So now I put it in perspective where I've stretched it out there. I don't think I could do it in 30 days. I'd like to have the money in 30 days, but, 1 a week for the next 4 weeks is more realistic for me. I talk to people and say, Robert, that's even too fast for me. Okay, let me show you how to get to $780 a month in the next 8 months. Sponsor 1 person a month for the next 4 months. Do you think you could do that? 100% of the people say, yeah. You now got 4 people on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over the next 4 months. They just sponsor 1 a month for the next 4 months. You've now got 16 people on your second level. You're now making $780 a month after just 8 months. In 8 months, not 8 minutes, but 8 months of getting 1 a month, and your downline getting 1 a month. Folks, that right there is the secret to what I do. Now, I've done this for profit leads, and I've used this scenario in other programs over the last 32 years of my career. When I break it down in 30 days, 60 days, or 8 months, or even a year, what have I just done? If I show you this scenario and I show it in 8 months, what have I just done? I've guaranteed that you're going to stay in for how many months? At least 8. So if you want to show one for 12 or 24 months, do it. Because the longer the scenario is, the longer they're going to stay in the business. Most people join and quit real quickly because they're spending more than they're making. They had a limited budget, and you did not give them a game plan to go out and break even. That's why Profit Leads has a 15-45 pay plan. You sponsor 3 and your leads are free. You put 1 on your first level, help that person get 2, and now you're making $105 a month and you're spending $99.95. Now you don't have to worry about covering your lead auto ship each month, do you? Because you're making more than you're spending. That's why I like that comp plan there to work in conjunction with your primary business. We did that on purpose, so then leads were not an extra expense. You profited by being in the lead business. That's why we called it Profit Lead, okay? We put some thought behind that. So we wanted these leads to be profitable for you, and we wanted to help you with that. So this is the scenario that I want you to think about tonight. If you're in a primary business, how to get a little game plan together for them, or you can use it for us. Now, here's a bigger scenario. Go ahead and put in 20 people on your first level, help all of them get 4, and you're making $3,900 a month. I'm not going to go into the details on the math, but I will tell you it's going to take over $2 million in the bank to get you a $3,900 a month CD. So you do that with us with 100 people. Okay, break even $105, sponsor 1 who gets 2. $780 a month, sponsor 4 who gets 4. $3,900 a month, sponsor 20 who get 4. And here's our big number coming up, sponsor 36 who get 6, make over $10,000 a month. We've written checks over $15,000 to $20,000 a month here at Profit Lead. So it is possible. And those people didn't have 2,000 or 3,000 people in their group. They had 300 or 400. So that's the power if you have a big influence online and you have a blog or you have a fan page. and you have a big list, then this can work for you. And if you don't have any of those, guess what? This can work for you too. You can build up a group of 20 and duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. I like this number here for the big thinkers. In order to make $10,260 a month in the bank at 1.7%, you'd have to have $7.2 million in the bank. So if you're a six-figure income earner right now in your primary business, or you want to be, you need to start building your belief level up and pat yourself on the back. Because if you're making $10,000 a month in your primary business, it's like in the real world having over $7 million in the bank. You can imagine that, waking up tomorrow and having a $7.2 million CD that's paying you $10,000 a month. How excited, how would your attitude change tomorrow if you knew you had $7 million in a guaranteed CD? Your life would completely change. That's the way I look at it if I have 252 subscribers in this first two levels of 36 who get 6 in this scenario. So I always treat my network marketing business like an asset. So when somebody says no, I don't get hung up. I don't doubt myself. I don't doubt my company. I don't doubt my products or services. Here's what I do. I doubt that person is the one I'm looking for. So I start doubting them. I reflect the negativity back on them, and I go, they're not ready now. Would you like me to call you back in a few months, or would you like me to scratch you off my list? I always ask everybody who tells me no that, because I want to know, because it's an asset. Are you going to be an asset or a liability? So for me, I'm positive about prospecting, because I'm looking for what? I'm looking for more money to put in the bank so I can get what? A residual income. So I equate putting money in the bank as signing people up in my network marketing opportunity, whatever opportunity that is. When you start doing that, you start getting excited about calling people. Why? Because that person could put more money where? In my bank. You've now got a network marketing bank, and to make more money, you just need more people. And you've got to get more eyeballs in front of that presentation. You don't have to learn everything. You just got to get more people to the presentation. He or she who shows more presentations wins. That's it. That's why you see people and meet people and see them walking across stage. And you go, how in the world did that person get to the top of our pay plan? Well, either themselves or their whole group showed more presentations than you did. That's it. It's just that simple. And they had the belief, and they got through the fear, so they showed more plans. If you show more plans, people are going to get in. I closed 48%, and I don't meet a person in person, ever. I do it all online. So it's very possible for you to do that. So how much does it cost to become a customer at Profit Lead? We have a special 30-day trial right now for $9.95 for 100 buyer leads. The same leads that you get if you come in at our normal price, $99.95. Now, this converts the second month to a monthly auto ship. If you don't want it, you just go back to the main website, click on Contact Support, that issues a support ticket, and we'll cancel you out. We only want people who want to be here, okay? But we do the 30-day trial for a reason. We know that not everyone is good with leads. They may never contact them before, and they may have had troubles in the past with other lead vendors. We want to give you a 30-day head start. We lose money on that order. You know what we do? We pay commissions on that order. Can you believe that? We pay 15% on the first level and 45% on the second level. I had a guy call me today and said, hey, I made like $10 today. How did I do that? I go, well, you signed up 2 people on a 30-day trial. And he goes, how do you do that? I go, because we understand something. I want you guys to all write this down. Here's what we understand at Profit Lead. We understand this, the lifetime value of a customer. I'm going to say that again, the lifetime value of a customer. We understand residual income. We understand that if somebody stays in 5 years, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for us. So when we lower the bar down to $9.95, it's the same leads that you get at $99. So we lose money on the first order. We lose money on the first order because we have so much confidence in our product and our service and what we do. 7 out of 10 approximately, based on what month out of the year it is, will stay on after the 30-day trial. So those 7 help pay, when they come in the second month, help pay for that loss. Okay, so that's the business side of this. Now, I'm going to show you a benefit tonight if you want to come in at the regular price at $99.95. There's no shipping, none of that extra cost. You'll get a signed copy of my book. You can go to Amazon.com tonight and look up MLM Big Money, and you can see it sells for $29.95. You can order it at Amazon if you want, but if you order it from me, by coming in at our normal price, you get it free of charge. We throw that in, and I autograph it for you, and we'll also grandfather you to the top of our pay plan. So that's just my way of saying, hey, thanks for not taking the trial. thanks for not costing me any money on that one. All right? So I'm giving those who are just serious, you've got the money and you're serious about doing it, I give you a little bit of perk. Now, if you're not in a financial position to come in at $99.95, that's okay. Take advantage of the $9.95. Use it. Learn the system. You still get a free ebook, some free training. You get the same type of quality leads, same free autoresponder during that 30-day trial. You'll get a free replicated website, no matter which program you come in on, and you'll be able to refer people. Now, during the $9.95 trial, if you sign somebody up at the normal price, you will not earn commissions on them until you're moving $99.95 a month through your own account, okay? So we'll allow you to have a website, and I had a guy that came in one time. He came in at $9.95. He put in 15 people in 3 days at $9.95, and he said, can I upgrade? I go, yes. So if you upgrade in that first 30 days, we'll still grandfather you in, and I'll still send you the book, okay? I think that's a fair enough deal for me and you tonight. So that's how much it costs and what you have to do to get started. Just sign up now. Get your old downline list out. Get your current upline, crossline, downline list, anyone that you know that needs some leads, or you can call my office here for help, or just basically get back to the person who invited you on this webinar. Now, if you're watching this webinar live, you don't see the add to cart button, but if you're watching it recorded, right below here is the add to cart button from the person who referred you so they get proper credit for it. Click on add to cart button now, and all you'll have is two choices, $9.95 or $99.95. And again, any questions, get back to the person who invited you on this webinar, and they'll be happy to walk you through how to get started, what to do, and then you can always call our office, and we'll have our customer support people help you guys as well, too. Just remember, after 32 years, I'm still doing the business. After 32 years, I'm still recording webinars, and after 32 years, I've never been happier. Network marketing works, folks. You just got to find the right people that are like you. And how I do it is through buyer leads now. I don't bump into family and friends. I don't do those type of things. I contact other people across the country and now across the world that have the same mindset that you and I do. They want to write their own paycheck. They'd be willing to work harder for themselves and take a little bit less pay if they can call their own shot. That's the kind of people I'm looking for, and I know that's the kind of people that you're looking for. So, again, get back to the person who invited you tonight or click on the Add to Cart button, and we will see you this next month with your membership. Any questions, please let us know. Thanks, everyone, and good night.